Hello and welcome to My Finance Teacher YouTube channel. Today is 10th of March 2017, and since the end of February gold has been decreasing, just as we mentioned in our previous video, the link to which you will see at the top of your screen at the moment. Now, from now onwards, in the short term, there are two scenarios for gold. One of them points to an increase in price starting somewhere now. This is because the RSI, this is 10-day RSI, on the relative strength index, gold has already reached oversold levels, pointing to a potential increase in the price happening over the next probably 2-3 weeks. This increase will probably reach this downtrend line and might go slightly beyond that. That is one scenario in the short term. Another scenario in the short term is we continue to decrease in the gold price for another 4 days or so until the middle of next week, when an FOMC meeting is going to take place, and by now it's almost certain that short-term interest rates will be increased at that meeting, which means there is a chance that gold will follow a scenario so-called sell the rumor buy the fact, where the market sells gold with the expectation of an increase in interest rate, and once that event actually happens, gold bounces back up, again reaching this downtrend line, probably reaching slightly beyond that. That is the short-term outlook for gold, which does agree with the expectation for the dollar, which has been experiencing this rally since the end of January, and at least over the last several days, at least partly this rally was due to the expectation of a higher short-term interest rate, and just opposite to gold, in dollar we might see a scenario where buy the rumor sell the fact actually happens, and after the interest rate are increased in the middle of next week, dollar will continue its declining phase of this intermediate cycle. That is the short-term outlook for dollar, where it goes down, and of course it agrees with a short-term outlook for gold, where it increases. However, it's not always the case when the dollar and gold move in opposite directions. For example, in the medium-term outlook, both gold and dollar point downwards. After this temporary bounce in gold price over the next several weeks, 2, 3, probably 4 weeks, we will likely see gold entering in earnest into the declining phase of this intermediate cycle, which will probably reach its low sometime late spring, early summer. Now for dollar, this is the weekly chart of dollar. Again, in the intermediate term we see dollar going down and reaching the level of around 98, probably sometime in May, where the relative strength index will reach or will be close to oversold levels, just as it was at the previous intermediate cycle low in May last year. So this is the short-term and medium-term outlooks for both gold and dollar. Remember, this is not investment advice. However, if this has been interesting, you might consider subscribing to the channel, especially in light of what's going to happen in the energy sector, where a nice investment opportunity might unfold over the next several weeks, when crude oil will finally reach its intermediate cycle low. Thank you for your attention.